I'm Cubeoid, and this is my RotaryCraft tutorial series, episode 7, and this one will be mainly focused on a new type of engine and some other miscellaneous stuff that should have been covered before, like the floodlight. The floodlight and the the clutch and scalable chest and the Aerosolizer. I think that's how you say it. Pronouncing things is not my strongest skill, but never mind that. So I'm just gonna get into the tutorial. So before you're going to be able to craft before you're going to be able to craft the new engine and the thing required to help use the engine, you're going to need some gold coils. So that's just 8 gold ingots and 1 HSLA steel ingot, and it has an alternate recipe where you can switch out all the gold for electrum. It doesn't have to be immersive engineering electrum, it can be any type of electrum. I just put immersive engineering electrum there because I like how it looks. And yes, I know I accidentally made the wall out of cobblestone instead of the small stone bricks, so whatever, still looks fine. So on to the magnetizing unit. So it's not that expensive. It requires 2 gold coils, 4 base panels, 1 mount, and 1 redstone. And this is what it looks like. It's pretty decent looking. Yep. And again, I do have a texture pack for RotaryCraft. I don't even know where I got the texture pack from. It was on my old laptop before I moved everything on over to my actual PC I use now. Wait, I think I remember where I got it from. What's it called again? There's a mod pack called Revolution 3, I believe, and it had a RotaryCraft pack. A RotaryCraft texture pack. I've looked on the internet for a new version, but I cannot find one. So, yep. So when I get further into RotaryCraft, I might need to ditch the texture pack, because some things like the ethanol extract, like new items, they're just the 2 purple things. Like, the texture pack makes stuff look nice, but all the integrated gearbox upgrades and stuff like that, like the flux amplitude upgrade, all that stuff, new stuff, it's just purple squares, and it's just not the best thing. Some things like the ground penetrating radar, I don't know if it's supposed to be like that. As well as things like the flamethrower turret, the Gatling gun, and the spillway, and the front of the block drop processor. Does it actually look like that? It does indeed. So yeah, I don't know about that. But I'll use the texture pack for as long as I can before I start having to go over items that do require you to look at them properly. Never mind that. I should stop blabbering away and get on to recipes. So the actual engine itself, the AC electric engine, still not too expensive. I mean, if you're doing a survival, hopefully you'll already have gotten yourself a grinder, so ore should not be a problem. Or it will, who knows. But yep, so 4 gold ingots, 1 gold coil, 1 shaft unit, and 2 base panels, as well as a redstone that gives you 1 AC electric engine. And it also has an alternate recipe where you can replace the you can replace the gold with electrum. And that's it. The block itself looks pretty good. It does function a lot like the DC electric engine. I'll show how to use it. So before you use the actual AC electric engine, you're going to need your magnetizing unit, and you're going to want to place that down, and you're going to want to apply an AC redstone signal. And here I'll show you the handbook entry. So the magnetizer uses a rapidly rotating shaft to create a magnetic field inside a shaft core. This is one of the critical components of an AC electric engine. It requires an AC redstone current and a high speed. And it just says the required power speed has no torque requirement. But I do believe it goes faster the more speed it has and power, but I guess that also kind of relates to speed. But yeah, I have a shaft core in here that I've had in here for a while, and it's already at like, I don't know, I think that's 2,860 microteslas. Here, I'll show you how fast it goes. First, I'll show you the setup. So I have 2 windmills. I have been using windmills a lot in my tutorials because I just like placing something down and having never to worry about it ever again, because it will just run forever. Windmills are nice like that. And also, they are, as far, including the AC electric engine, they are the fastest spinning engine so far, so that was a good option. And as well, I also have a 16:1 gearbox on here. I have no idea whether wood or stone will work. You can test that out on your own if you so desire. But yeah, so I've got quite a bit of speed going to this thing. I have no idea how much speed, but I don't care. So just supply it with a high speed and give it a flickery redstone signal. About this redstone signal, so if you're the type of person that has no idea about redstone, then this is pretty much how you would make a simple clock. I just need to grab a lever here, repeater, redstone. Pretty much, you put 2 repeaters facing opposite directions, put some redstone here and here, put down a switch, and flick the switch really quickly, or faster than that. And if that doesn't work, you can just break the redstone to reset it. But if you do it like that, you can also break the redstone and place it back really quickly, like so, and you can also get it as well as if you flick it fast enough. It's very hard to flick it fast enough. You have to turn the lever on very quickly and then off again. I don't think I can do it. My mouse does not allow me to click that fast. I have a good mouse. There's no reason it shouldn't allow me to do. You know what? That's besides the point. By breaking the redstone, you can make the clock like this, and as long as this thing gets the flickery redstone signal, it will function. And make sure both these redstone repeaters are on 1 tick delay. Anything, if they have longer delays, then it will cause this won't magnetize as fast, and the AC electric engine won't spin as fast. And yeah, so there's no shaft core here. I'll show you shaft core. So, put mouse over it there. So you see it's magnetizing. It magnetizes pretty quickly. I mean, not really. That's kind of slow. Seems I don't know how fast it magnetizes, but it seems to sometimes go more than 1 at a time. Yeah, I'll just put that one back in there. So it does take quite a long time to magnetize them. In the RotaryCraft menu, if you want to experiment in creative mode, beside the shaft core, there's a pre-magnetized shaft core, and then it's magnetized at 536.871 teslas. So that's quite a bit. That might be the max. I don't think you can magnetize it more than that. That is quite magnetic, and I'll just explain in a second how to use your magnetized shaft core. I'll just grab one of these with your AC electric engine. So pretty much, and before I get into that, you can see if you have a magnetized shaft core in your inventory, by getting close to an AC electric engine, it will cause it to spin the closer you get to it. And it doesn't matter whether the redstone signal is applied to it or not, it will spin. And but this can also cause problems. You might be thinking, ooh, yay, free energy if I stand still. Stand near it. It doesn't work if it's on the ground. It doesn't work if it's in a chest. It doesn't work if it's in an item frame. Only if it's in the player's inventory. Yeah, so I'll show the entry for the AC electric engine. So the alternating current AC engine, like its DC cousin, requires a redstone signal to perform. However, this one needs an alternating signal, best supplied with a redstone clock. Faster cycle times correlate to more consistent power output, with 2 clocks providing a constant supply of 512 newton meters at 256 radians a second, so 131.072 kilowatts. And it requires a magnetized shaft core, which will gradually demagnetize. It doesn't demagnetize the shaft core if you're holding it and it's spinning, but yeah, it doesn't run at its full potential if it's just running from your inventory. So let's just plop the shaft core in there, and it'll go. And it will slowly demagnetize your shaft core. You may have realized that the power of the AC electric engine, allow me just to get a, what's it again? Steam engine. Get the steam engine. So, wait, why did I do that? Well, not the steam engine. The gasoline engine. So you can kind of see the dynamometer back there. So the gasoline engine. The AC electric engine has more power than the gasoline engine, but it doesn't spin as fast. Yeah, but the AC electric engine has much more torque, so therefore providing much more power, and that can be useful for many things, such as something I will show in the next episode. But yeah, and I should probably, you know what, let's just take this one out here. So I did say there was a slight issue with holding it in your hand. So you can see the engine going there. Well, if I hold it in my hand and get close, you can hear it should stop making the noise. Yep. And the closer you get to it with a magnetized shaft core in your inventory, it disrupts its power. So the first time I was experimenting with this mod on my old laptop, I mean, not just the mod, but the AC electric engine, quite a while ago, a couple years ago actually, I was confused. It's like, why is the thing not working properly? I have quite a flickery redstone signal going to it. It should be running. Well, it's because I had a whole stack of the pre-magnetized shaft cores in my inventory. Yeah, and my redstone repeaters weren't flickery enough. But just put this back in here. There. And on to the floodlight. Now this is an item I should have shown much earlier in the tutorials, but I kind of got sidetracked and progressed. I didn't really progress too far. I kept on trying to work towards a new engine or something like that. But in the next couple episodes, the next episode is going to be a pretty big episode. I'm still working on it, but that's besides the point. So the floodlight, it requires 1 gold, 2 obsidian, 1 HS lace steel ingot, and 2 iron ingots, as well as a glass, a glowstone, and a base panel. And that gives you 1 floodlight. It has an alternate recipe where you can replace the gold with the copper, but it requires you to replace the iron with any type of silver as well. And you have to have that as silver. Yep, I'm gonna find the entry for the floodlight. It should be in here. I think it's in utility accessory actually. No. Here? No, you know, I'm just gonna click through. This might be a couple seconds, but I'm gonna click through until I find the floodlight. There it is, in utility. Yeah. So floodlight. Yeah. So you see, you do have to have silver. But yeah, the floodlight creates a beam of light that illuminates everything in its path until blocked by an opaque solid block, perfect for lighting up large spaces where point source light sources like torches will simply not cut it. And it does not require a lot of power at all, has no torque or speed requirement, but it just requires you to have at least about 1 kilowatt of power. So the same power as the DC electric engine. I'll just turn this on for you, and you can see kind of what it does. It does make much more light. I just have to update light sources. I have to update the lighting. There. So as you can see, it makes a constant beam of light, and this beam of light travels quite far until it is stopped. Here, actually, it'll probably be better if I turn this one on instead. There we go. And if you leave it a bit, the lighting will update by itself, but just by having like a torch, place it on the ground, break it, it should update for you. But yeah. Oh. One second. I need to get the measuring tape. For a sec. Oh, why'd I just... There we go. I was kind of worried for a second that it's like, oh, do I not have, what is it, BilboCraft installed? But no, I did. I'm just going to measure how far the light goes. So from here. So it traveled a couple hundred meters. This is actually a re-record of this episode. You can see the kind of spot for the other RotaryCraft tutorial I'm working on. F3. Where's your light source? Light. Where does it say the light? I don't remember. It's here somewhere. Should it? Okay, it's supposed to say here somewhere where light is light source. Oh, I see it. This is probably light source. Here, block 3. I just need to go along until it starts going down. So I'm gonna say it goes until here. So 128 blocks. So that's a fairly long distance. So yeah, this can be quite useful when lighting up large spaces, as the handbook said. And it only requires a DC electric engine, so just a lever and you're good, and infinite power, or in this case infinite light. Okay, so that's onto the next thing. So this is the Aerosolizer. I'll show you how to... Wait a minute. Oh, in the first recording of this, I tried to do. This is I mentioned it before when I was doing the floodlight, but this is a re-record of this episode because the last one, it had no sound, and I think I accidentally crafted this out of the work table. You know what? I'll just show you guys through here. So it's 4 reservoirs, 4 base panels, and 1 impeller. That gives you 1 aerosolizer. I'll just fill this in so I can know that's there. There we go. And what it looks like. So, kind of looks like a reservoir, but it has these 9 holes in them, and it has, I don't know, that kind of looks like an obsidian texture at the bottom. But I'll show you the handbook entry. So the potion aerosolizer has 9 internal tanks, which can store up to 64 bottles of potion. Each 64 bottles of potion each. These effects are dispersed throughout the entire room the machine is in and applied to all entities within. Filling more than 1 slot with the same potion type will result in upgraded effects. And it just says the required power, so 16,384 watts. So the same power as a steam engine. So I have a steam engine over here and a clutch. I will just quickly show you how to craft the clutch. So it's just 1 redstone, 1 mount, 1 shaft unit equals 1 clutch. And there's also an alternate recipe where you can just put a redstone and a steel shaft, and that also gives you a clutch. And what the block looks like, it's pretty much a steel shaft with this kind of black thing in the middle with this red line. That's my shaders interfering with the texture. It looks odd, but whatever. Whatever for now. And by giving it a redstone signal, it transmits shaft power through it. Without a redstone signal, it will not. And let's see if I can get at an angle where the shaders don't mess up the red ring. I don't think that's possible. But so pretty much, if you can kind of see the red ring there, it lights up a little bit when a redstone signal is applied there. And so you see I kind of have it here, and give it signal, and it's spinning now. And I now have potion effects because I have potions in there. So the Aerosolizer. So the more slots that are filled up with the same type of potion, the stronger the effect will be. In this case, I have regen in there, as well as it uses some up. So if I turn it on, it uses them up, I guess, per person, I think. I don't really know how exactly it uses up these tanks. All I know is that it uses them up. And without my shaders, you can kind of see it now. Oh, without the shaders kind of interfere, but you can see it displays the color of the potion on the top of the machine in the tanks. The tanks also will fill up. Where's that? I don't even know where that water texture is coming from. But the tanks will also fill up depending on how much potion you have. And it took me quite a while to shove enough potion in there. Yep, that's that. And on to the last block of the tutorial. So this is the Scalable Chest. It doesn't do anything while sitting on its own. But to craft it, it is one chest and 8 HSLA steel ingots, and that gives you one scalable chest. Here, I'll show you the entry. So the Scalable Chest allows you to store your things in a small space. Its inventory size scales with the amount of power it receives, up to a maximum of 972 stacks. If the power input drops or is lost while there are items in the now removed slots, they will remain hidden and inaccessible until sufficient power is restored. And here's just the power requirement. So it requires minimal power requirement is 4,096 watts. I think that's a windmill, perhaps, I don't know. But yeah, so I kind of have all the engines here lined up. I don't know why I added the DC electric engine, but DC electric engine will not power it. It will not open up. You know what? Before I continue, I'll just grab some of this, kind of set up some of these engines here. So AC electric engine, gasoline engine, there we go. So you can kind of see the power given here. So for the windmill, one windmill, you get, I think this is a bit less than the amount of slots you get in a double chest. For the steam engine, you get one whole double chest of storage in one block. Now with the gasoline engine is when this thing starts to truly show its power. So you have one full chest, you have one full double chest, you have another, and that goes up all the way to 8. So this one block can now store the equivalent of 8 double chests. And with the AC electric engine, it gets a bit more crazier. You can store up to 17 double chests of storage in one block, and that all requires some flickery redstone and a shaft core. And the shaft core, of course, will have to be magnetized. But yep, so pretty useful, the Scalable Chest. Just clear my inventory. Yeah, so that's it for this episode of my RotaryCraft tutorial series, and hopefully you watched the whole thing all the way to the end, and thank you for watching, and hopefully you watch the next one.